Hey everyone, thanks for coming back. This is episode 1 of my travel experience in Europe. Again, we went to Italy, Slovenia, a little bit of Austria, and Switzerland for 4 weeks. And I'm just going over some of the things that are misconceptions and things that we found helpful, things we found very unhelpful. And today we're going to talk about food.
Book the session!
Food in Italy was by far our favorite. The food in Slovenia was also surprisingly good. Not knowing their culture, what the food was going to be like, we didn't think we were maybe even going to like it. And the Slovenian food was delicious. I would say actually the food that we liked the least, sorry to say it, but was Switzerland. The food wasn't very flavorful. It didn't have the creativity that we saw in the other countries. And so Italy and Slovenia, you guys took the cake when it comes to the food and the things that we experienced food-wise. But today I want to also talk about finding food. How do you find food? How do you find a place to eat? And one of the things that a lot of us Americans run to is Yelp. And I myself have been a person who likes to contribute to Yelp and look for restaurants that way. I find most of the places that my family eats on Yelp, and it's quite successful sometimes. A lot of times when you go to European countries, they don't look at food and using Yelp the same way that we do. So one of the things I noticed for sure was that because Europeans don't use Yelp the way that we do, you would search for a restaurant in there and you'd find very few restaurants around you. And yet when you're out walking the streets, there's restaurants all over the place. Take Italy. We were near Vatican City where we were in our Airbnb. And when we walked the streets, there was you throw a rock and there was a restaurant. And these cute little places where they were sitting out front and everybody's having their aperitivos, and the food looked delicious. And then you jump on Yelp to find a recommendation for a place to go that night for dinner, and you're like, wait a minute, we just passed 8 restaurants and none of those restaurants are on Yelp. So throughout Europe, Google Maps is actually the dominant app to use for when you're looking for a restaurant. There'll be all kinds of places listed on there, and there'll be reviews on there also. So I would skip using Yelp and use Google Maps to find a place to eat. You'll find really good results there. The other thing I'd like to talk about this time in this episode is hiking ratings in Europe. So one of the cultural differences that we found, as I mentioned in my intro, is that here in the U.S., especially here in L.A., I mean, there's even a song about it. Nobody walks in L.A. We drive cars a lot. And so walking and getting out and getting exercise and hiking is not something that is really in our culture here in Los Angeles area. I know people do it. I get it. And we do it. I go hiking with my family. I enjoy hiking. We go to Mammoth and we go in the San Bernardino Mountains and we hike around. But not to the extent that Europeans do. You'll see little old ladies with their bags and they go to the grocery store every day and they're getting their food for dinner for that night, and they're walking back and forth. They're not driving their cars. You'll see a lot of people walking, and when you're there, you'll be walking just as much. And so walking and getting that exercise is just part of the culture. And so that leads to trail ratings being very different than what we have or what we had in mind. So a lot of times we would go and we would find a trail and it would be rated as easy. And we were like dying on this trail and thinking, this isn't easy at all. For instance, we were at a place in Switzerland, and we were talking to this young lady, and she worked at the information office, and she was giving us places to go for hikes and things. And she's like, "Oh, this really easy trail. You just you get off at the gondola, and you go up this trail, and it's no problem, and it's really easy."
The walk to.
Hey, Instagram. I'm gonna keep this short. Gotta make oxygen choices. And about halfway up, my wife and I are just like, this is ridiculous. This is so hard. This is not an easy trail. It's just a constant straight up incline. And by the way, you're at 9,000 feet. When you do hear a European say that a trail is easy, it is easy from their perspective. But have fun, get out there and walk everywhere that you go. You get to meet people. You get to see things that you don't see from your car. You can stop anytime you want and stop and take pictures. And the hiking and the walking around in European countries it's absolutely beautiful. And we met so many kind people. But meeting people and talking to people and how kind they are is for another episode. So thanks for tuning in. Subscribe if you would like to, and follow along as we walk through this adventure of tips and ideas and things that we found were misconceptions about Europe when we were on our trip. Thanks for watching.